What is going on, everybody, and welcome to Dealmaker Atlanta. Josh, this is such a unique thing we're doing. Never done a live, meetup, but here we are.
Dude, I've always actually wanted to do something like this. So I'm living my best life, man. I feel like we should sing that Christmas song about when the weather outside is frightful.
Y'all, you didn't know this. Josh has a second career in
Yeah,
singing. It's actually not
I'll
true.
just add it to my list of careers.
Yeah, absolutely. So here in a minute, everyone should be getting an email that will link you to the presentation we're going to give tonight. You'll be able to study it, follow along with us, however you want to do that. But I see we have a lot of viewers right now with us. If you could just drop in the comments, where you're from, and are you a regular Dealmaker Atlanta attendee, or are you just hopping in tonight because, you're finally able to watch us? So would love to see where you're from.
Yeah, I love that. We had a lot of new people at the December meeting. That was pretty cool. And so I'm really excited for February when we move into our new location. Man, it is going to be epic. Like I'm fired up and ready to go, man. And I'm only bummed out that we've got 30 more days till we get to it, but that's okay. You know, the best things in life,
That's
they're
right.
worth waiting on.
That's right. James Geyer, thank you so much. Yeah, James said not as what did he say? Not as Saint Claus or he might have said Santa Claus. Yeah, the A is
I
missing,
got
but
you.
yeah. No, not Josh is kind of Santa, but not really. All
That's
right,
right.
Dean, great to have you here. All right, y'all. So Dealmaker Atlanta, first time we've come at you live on online. Usually we're in person and the energy is always great. I always look forward to Dealmaker Atlanta. I always look forward to meeting the people there. I always look forward to just chatting with folks about, hey, what are you doing? What's new? We have a large, vast swath of people that beginners, people that are they just heard about real estate investing and they looked us up on Bigger Pockets, or they looked us up somewhere online, Eventbrite maybe. Like, whoa, real estate investing. I've heard about that. I heard that could be great. I'm going to go check it out. And then we have people all the way toward Glenn and Keith and Reggie, people that have been doing this for a couple of decades that are there to really add value to others. And that's what's so special about Dealmaker Atlanta is there's no one in the room really standing up saying, hey, look at me, look at what I got. The people at Dealmaker Atlanta are super special because we are there to add value to others. We're there to help others achieve their goals. So, Josh, what do you love about Dealmaker Atlanta, man?
Look, I love everything, but for me, I think you really summed it up. For those of you that I haven't met yet, I'm in my second year of real estate investing, and I went from 0 properties to 7 properties in 24 months. And I'm just getting started. But I would have never gotten from 0 to 1 if it weren't for Dealmaker Atlanta. And got to give a shout out to Danny Williams and Tripoli investors because that's where I started,
Yeah.
and just the people that were in that room that gave me the courage and the motivation. And knowledge is important, and we're going to talk a lot about that tonight. But I have to be honest with you, it's having a tribe of people that are going in the same direction or 5 steps ahead of you that you can just
Right.
follow. And I'll tell you why that's important, Eric. I was driving in this snow and this ice yesterday, and I noticed that if I was going across the ice and no one was in front of me, my truck would slide around and I'd almost have a car accident. But if I could just get behind someone that was paving the way, then it was easier for me to stay on the road. I could see where I was going and I could stay right on track. And I think that's what Dealmaker does is we're able to follow behind people like you and others that have paved the way, and we can get on track and go in that direction.
Yeah. So my wife and I got in the car behind someone else about 7 years ago, and it was Danny and Glenn and Keith and Carrie leading the way. And well, the biggest thing that we did that helped our success was we listened and we took action. And if you can do those two things, listen as twice as much as you speak, and take massive imperfect action, you will see changes in your life that you won't recognize. You just won't recognize yourself. You won't recognize who you're becoming, but it's going to be that thing, that version of you that you always wished you could achieve. So with tonight's meeting about artificial intelligence, don't feel like you got to use it all. Don't feel like that this is just for us and not for you, or I've got to be doing deals to figure this out. No, dive in and start figuring this out with us. It is the right it is the right thing to do to go ahead and start taking action, even if you don't have a property to your name. So just a
Be
quick shout
prepared
out.
too, because I nerd out on this stuff. So when I get into, y'all know I'm going to be talking about some Chat GPT when we get there, because I'm a dork. Like, I love it. So just be
Yeah.
prepared too, because there's going to be some energy here. Because man, I'm all in on AI.
Yep. I just want to give a shout out to Christy, David, living in Atlanta, Georgia on YouTube, and Miriam Kennedy joining us on Facebook. So thank y'all for joining in with us tonight. Without further ado, let's get started, y'all. So new year, new you. I'm sure we've all heard that statement, right? And we all really go into the new year hoping that the resolutions we set are things that we can stick to and that we can achieve. Now, this has nothing to do with AI and has everything to do with the future version of yourself. So, in this new year, if you haven't already, wrote down some intentions. And I try not to say setting resolutions. I like to say setting intentions. Now, an intention can be on its way toward a goal, but when you set an intention and you remind yourself daily, this is what I'm becoming, not this is what I'm trying to become. I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm not trying to transform. I'm not trying to get a deal under contract. No, the intention is I identify as the kind of person that does deals, that loses weight, that goes to the gym, that watches what they eat. I am that person now that does this. So much as you do, you will become. And that is so true in everything in life. You know, I wouldn't so Josh, you don't smoke, do you, buddy?
I don't. Nope.
Hey Josh, are you going to go to the grocery store tonight or the convenience store tonight and pick up a pack of smokes?
I'm definitely not, because I don't smoke.
All right. What if I asked you like, but why? Why are you not going to go to the convenience store? You don't smoke, obviously, but why wouldn't you go grab a pack of smokes?
That's right. I don't have a need for that, man.
Right. That is not your identity. That is not who you are. That is not what you do. And in this new year, new you, I'm going to actually skip over to this one. We're going to come back to the Dealmaker Creed, but your network is your net worth, y'all. If you want to become a better version of yourself, if you want to transform and you want to, I love using the butterfly cocoon thing. You know, we all, if we were all caterpillars, we would all get fat and sassy. We would love to eat, like Eric Carl wrote in his book. My son loves that book, by the way. And eat, and then build a nice shelter around yourself and wait. And when you wait long enough, you transform into something that can reach things that caterpillar could only have dreamed of before. So in this new year, new you, I would like for you to just try to take on the identity of a butterfly. But right now, you might be a pupa, right? Not even a caterpillar yet, but just like a little pupa. Or you might be a caterpillar, or you might be in your cocoon. You might be a butterfly now. So, what is the role of your stage in this transformation? Well, if you're a butterfly, it's very important that you go around and you meet with those caterpillars and train them and coach them on how to build the perfect cocoon. If you are in your cocoon, you can't really talk to others because you're all wrapped up, but you can leave traces and evidence of what you did, right? You can record yourself giving notes. You can pass on wisdom that you've learned from others. What do you do if you're a caterpillar talking to the pupa? You teach them how to eat, right? You say, this is the best tree in this land to nibble on an apple. Go eat that apple. And then they grow, right? So all of that just to say, your network, when showing up to Dealmaker Atlanta, when showing up to any other RIA, when showing up to your brokerage meetings, if you're an agent, or if you are a high school teacher showing up to your different meetings that you have, you know, take a good look around you and try to identify the people that are surrounding you in those areas. Maybe it's just your friend group, you know, maybe it's who you spend the most time with. Take a good look at that. You shall become who you spend the most time with. And that is what you're going to do. So if you spend the most time with people that make excuses and love to play the victim, I don't want to call you out, but I'm going to. You will become a victim. You will. But if you spend time around people that are problem solvers, that are value adders, that are out there to change the world one deal at a time, you too shall become that. So your network, who you surround yourself with, is going to become your net worth, because all of that time you spend around those people, they're going to start to rub off on you. And not just net worth fiscally, but net worth morally and ethically. Everything about you is going to gain in value. So think about that as we head into this new year, new you. Josh, before I go to the creed, anything you want to add to that?
No, just that what we're talking about tonight is when we get into AI and various ways of using it, but it relates to this as well. So the first thing I'll say is for those of you that out here, if it's your first meeting and you don't have a network, guess what? You do have a network. It's called Dealmaker Atlanta. We are your network. And when we get to the next in-person session, if it's your first one, you come see me because I am only 24 months removed from being the first one in the room. Come up to me and tell me, I know nobody. Let me walk you around the room and I'll personally introduce you to everyone I know. And the second thing is Eric, I think it was you that first told me what before I'd ever done my first deal. You said, I said, Eric, I want to get started. I want to get going. You said, well, how many deals have you analyzed today? And I said, well, no deals because I don't have. And you said, that's not what I asked you. I didn't ask you what you didn't have. Isn't it free to analyze a deal? And so basically, I had to shift my mind, like you're talking about, to become something, to move from the caterpillar to get into my cocoon. And so, one of those things that I had to start doing was every day I woke up, I analyzed I mean, I wasn't an agent even yet. I was on Zillow analyzing 3 deals with paper. But over time, it wasn't just that I learned to spot a deal because of that. That little shift helped me to wake up one day and go, I'm a real estate investor. I mean, I got to a point where I said that before I'd ever bought my first property because I was analyzing so many deals that it's like I'm a real estate investor. I'm becoming that. And so, again, I just want to throw that out there and encourage everyone. And I will tell you just to echo so we can get to the next slide is it's not about the wealth and it's not about property or lending or anything else. I have to be honest with you. There are so many people in the group that I find that I want to become like because of who they are as people. They're people that are really clearly good fathers, good husbands. They have great families. They're very active in their church, very philanthropic. Like I don't want to tell anyone's story for them, but people
Mhm.
who, for everything they make, they give some of that away. And these are the people who I want to be like. And I think that that's pretty special.
Yeah, amen to that. I just want to point out before we go further, Keith Gettinger, a close friend of mine and probably one of the most influential mentors I've had on my journey with my wife in real estate investing. He says, journal down your new identity in 2025. My wife and I had a coaching session last night, and we did the exact same thing with our coach. It says, once you change your identity, the I am statements, the willpower required drops exponentially. Because when you say, I am a real estate investor, you don't have to try as hard to show up to meetings. You don't have to try as hard to run numbers on deals because that's what's expected of real estate investors. That's just what you do. Right. But if you're a smoker, it's not that hard to go by the gas station and pick up a pack of smokes because that's your identity. And so, I think it'd be really wise for folks to, scribble on their notepad or take out their phone and scribble a note real quick and just say, I am. And maybe write 2 or 3 I am statements of maybe you're not this yet, but this is what you want to become in 2025. I am blank and become that. And it just happens over time. You will become that. So at every dealmaker meeting, we use this creed, and it's something that Jim Ingersoll and his team came up with at Elite Dealmakers, and I love it because it really fulfills everything we're trying to achieve together. So if you want to say it to yourself, if you want to say it with me, that's fine. If you just want to read it, that's fine. But I am a deal maker. My network is my net worth. I create my own future. I build my legacy. I add value to others every day. I make an impact one deal at a time. And there is some ambiguity in some of this stuff for it to mean what you want it to mean. And I think that is so great about how they crafted that. So tonight we're diving into artificial intelligence. In the chat, if everyone can maybe post kind of like what tools are you using that is artificial intelligence, that is AI, and maybe one example of how you're using it. And while people might be typing right now and sharing with us their tools that they're using and how they're using it, I want to ask Josh a little bit about the brokerage AI tool that you were telling me about earlier.
Yeah, there are two forms of AI that I use constantly. One is I love it because anyone can use it. And so tonight we're going to talk a lot about Chat GPT. But I was telling you within our broker, we have another form of AI called Leo. And Leo does everything. I can ask Leo anything about contract law, Leo knows. If I need a marketing, Leo sends it to me. If I want a video about how to run Facebook ads specific for whatever, Leo recommends them to me. Like Leo pretty much is a one-stop shop. I think too, probably because of Leo, I think we probably have maybe two things under contract now we wouldn't normally have under contract this fast. And I can access it all from my phone. Leo is very, very powerful. If there's a real estate agent out there and you want to learn about Leo, it is broker specific, but I'd love to talk with you about that. Just shoot me an email. I'll put my email in the chat and yeah, that'd be great.
Awesome. I love that so much. Dean is using ChatGPT to help write property descriptions. I think that is fantastic because what ChatGPT is doing is it's scanning and crawling the internet for property descriptions, and it's already done that. And whenever you feed it just some basics, like I have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in this zip code, and maybe you prompt it to say, I want to highlight that it has granite counters. I want to highlight that it comes with a washer and dryer. And then ChatGPT is going to build out an incredible property listing for you. You may have to reprompt and follow up to get it exactly like you want it. My favorite thing about it is I'll prompt it to do something and say something, and I just don't like the tone of voice. And so I have to coach it on the tone of voice. And the cool thing about ChatGPT on the paid version, you create threads on how you want it to communicate. And Josh is going to dive into this a little bit later, but you create those threads on training it. How do you communicate and how do you want the voice to sound? And you can train it exactly to talk just like you if you feed it ways of you communicating. So it creates a version of you. All right. And James says, use AI for pictures for his book. Yes. James Geyer wrote a children's book. It's incredible. And it's really empowering to children. So my son loves your book, James. And the pictures are just incredible. So thank you for sharing. I know that there are about 30 other people on this call with us tonight. Don't be shy. Throw it in the comments. What are you using AI for? And what type of tool are you using?
Hey, Eric.
Yes.
It's not in the presentation because I just discovered it, but there's another one called Notebook .lm. It's a Google product, but you actually can put articles or anything in there, copy it, paste in, and tell it to turn it into a podcast. And then next thing you know, it will actually through AI create a podcast of two people talking. And I've discovered that one of the podcasts I listen to, that's what they're doing is they're just scanning in stuff and it's two people reading it and it sounds just like the real thing. It's uncanny. So I can imagine like if you're nervous to talk to people, you probably could use notebook.lm and enter your scripts in there and then use that to send people messages and search for deals. For those of you that are kind of scared to have that one-on-one, it might be a good bridge to get you going.
That's amazing. I love that. Notebook LM. I put it in the comments for everyone to capture there. All right, so I'm going to talk first about a tool that my wife and I just discovered, and it's called Centra.ai. Now, this tool is one that we had to find because we had such a hard time training VAs. We had so many VAs that came and went. We had to get an AI we had to get a VA, a virtual assistant. That's what a VA is. We had to get one for copywriting. We had to get one for bookkeeping. We had to get one for all these other things. And at a certain point, we're like, we can't afford to hire 4, 5, and 6 VAs. There's got to be another solution. And through Tiffany's connections and the mastermind she attends and stuff, they brought out Centra AI. Now, Centra AI is your employees, all of them, on AI. Now, what Centra does is they have 12 little avatars, and these 12 little avatars are created to do particular jobs. Now, they're not necessarily completely trained yet because there's a training phase where you coach each avatar on how to do the job you want to do. So there is a lag time of training it, but it's as simple as downloading the app And while you're, where you used to scroll Facebook, or when you used to scroll Instagram, or, when TikTok finally goes away, if it does, you start training Centra. And all you got to do is answer some questions. The Centra bot for, creating content or email responding or bookkeeping is going to ask you, hey, how would you do this? And then you train it. Hey, how would you do this? And then you answer. Every time you answer, you're training that bot a little more about your business. So I'm going to go through each of the 12 avatars and tell you what they do. Visi is the virtual assistant. They're going to handle all your administrative tasks, like schedule meetings, organize trips, provide daily summaries on your emails and calendar data. It streamlines day-to-day operations for professionals. What I've been using Visi for is I say, hey, I need you to give me a breakdown on what I have going on in the next 30 days and give me some priorities on what do I need to prepare for and what is okay for me to just show up to. Because me, I'm a scattered guy. I could do a lot better. I want to do a lot better, but I'm telling you, Visi has helped me prioritize. Visi has helped me to create a hierarchy of needs for my tasks. So that is Visi. Then we have Millie, our sales manager. Millie does it drives sales success. So what are the key features of Millie? They can craft cold call scripts. And I've seen videos on YouTube of people programming Millie into creating these cold call scripts, and someone that has never had experience cold calling, just reading the script that they programmed in there and being able to convert a lead. Designing persuasive cold emails. So if you're trying to reach out and grow a business or something like that, I know we have some business owners in our group on our live stream tonight. This is a great tool for Millie. Builds compelling sales pitches. We often get very bogged down when we're trying to sell something. There's so many ways to sell something. Maybe you're trying to sell that you are the best person to buy someone's house. These pitches, it will help you compile and create different types of pitches that might, land a little softer, might land a little better. So what I like to say is Millie is my little Bill Cook. That's what I like to say. We have Buddy, our business development manager, develops growth strategies. Like the key features are providing business insights, AI-driven marketing, and launches new products. It's ideal for businesses looking to scale and grow bigger. Cassie, our customer support specialist. This is HR. I use Cassie as HR whenever I am trying to navigate different things when it comes to tenant issues. Sometimes Cassie will help me navigate conversations. You can even prompt Cassie to look up state laws, the Georgia handbook, landlord handbook, and stuff like that. You can load that in there, and instead of having to go and search and look through that Georgia landlord handbook, Cassie already knows that. And you say, hey, Cassie, can a tenant do this? Or hey, Cassie, if I say no to this applicant, am I breaking any rules here? So Cassie's great in the HR field. Comment is your e-commerce manager. This may not apply to everyone. Does not apply to me. We don't have an online store. But if you do, this is great. Guides store setup, streamlines product launches, optimizes business processes, is perfect for those e-commerce companies. Dexter, your data analyst. And I think they nailed it with this name on Dexter, except he doesn't have a bunch of plastic wrap into the trunk of his car and going and taking out the bad guys. If you don't get that joke, sorry. So the overview, it unlocks data insights, performs precise calculations. I know I watched a video. I think it was they tried to program some really large format problem for Dexter to solve. And for like supercomputers, it could take up to like 45 minutes to an hour to solve. And Dexter was able to solve it in less than 5. So Dexter has a way about him to really break down some data. But the thing is, I don't really need Dexter because I have a wife that is a absolute wizard in knowing finances and breaking stuff down. Also generates clear business insights. So you could probably upload your P&Ls and ask Dexter to analyze your P&L and say, hey, what's going on with this? And I've been playing around with it, trying to upload some different Excel files and say, hey, analyze this Excel file and tell me what I'm missing, or do these things just to see is it going to feed me the right information. So Dexter's a great tool, especially if you're trying to run your business like a business. Emmy is your email marketing specialist. I love Emmy. Emmy does a great job of crafting emails for me, of responding to emails for me, of making sure emails are responded to at a right amount of time. Emmy is my best friend for the most part, because I've been notorious to read an email and have the intention of going back and responding to that email, but then it getting buried underneath tons of other emails. So if you're like me, Emmy will be your best friend. We have Gigi. This is your personal growth coach. This has nothing to do with your business, but has everything to do with you personally. Do you want to go into your pantry, and you can literally go in there and take a picture of your pantry and all the things in it and send it to Gigi and say, hey, I need to come up with some recipes for what's in my pantry. Or, hey, I would like to go on a lower carb diet for the next month. Can you help me build that out? You can upload different things in there to help you study. Like if you're trying to take the real estate agent's exam or the general contractor's exam, or you're trying to do anything like that, Gigi's going to help you prepare. And maybe you're trying to get in shape. You can tell Gigi, hey, I am 5'10" and I'm 195 pounds and I want to get down to 175 pounds. What's the best way for me to do this? I don't like running, but I do love to use the rower. And so Gigi will help you come up with a workout routine that is right for you. We have Penn. This is your copywriter. If you are someone that needs to communicate online to different people and you need to make sure your messages are crafted in the best way possible, Penn is your person. We have Scouty, the recruiter. So maybe you want to use Scouty to help you find the next best VA for your business. So Scouty can be on your recruitment team and create those magnetic job posts and guide the whole team on onboarding. I don't know how to pronounce this one, but I say Xiaomi is your SEO specialist. Maybe you have a podcast, or maybe you have something that is SEO integrated, a website, a landing page where people need to visit so that you can either get leads generated, or maybe you're selling something or you're providing a service. Xiaomi is going to help you set it up in the best possible way so that you are a top Google search. We have Soshi. This is your social media manager. You can connect your LinkedIn, your X, your Facebook, your other, I was going to say Twitter, but X is Twitter, right? And you can guide and coach Soshi on different types of posts that you want to do. And they can generate anything you want. Tiffany just generated one that is a motivational Monday for finance on hers, that it's going to be energetic alignment for financing on Mondays. So to get people thinking more energetically focused on their finances on Monday, just a little thought for them to start their week. So Soshi is great if you're trying to boost your presence online, or if you're just trying to get online and have a presence. Now the Centra X package, all of that. Yeah. So Adam, this is Centra. And you get all 12 avatars in that package. It's $97 a month, but right now they have a deal going on, 40% off. And I'll tell you, I do not have any kickbacks from this. I'm just sharing because it's a great tool that we are using. It's 40% off, and it breaks down. It does a great job of being affordable and incredibly powerful for you. So you can take a picture of that, or if you check your email, you should have a link to this presentation as well. Just to look that up, just go to centra.ai and, start training your avatars and figuring out, is this the right AI tool for you? So I just spoke for about 15, 20 minutes, Josh. I'm going to get some water, and I'm excited to hear your part of the presentation. But before we do that, Josh, in the chat, if anyone has any questions about Centra, feel free to shoot that over in the chat. I can see everyone's comments from Facebook and on YouTube. So don't be afraid to post a comment about Centra. If you think Centra is dumb, you can post that. That's fine too. I'm still going to use it. But, I'd love for there to be some participation. My dad used to say life is kind of like a wallet. You can never expect to pull anything out of that wallet that you didn't deposit into that wallet. So if you want to grow from this meeting, you need to make a deposit so that you have something to pull out of it. And I know that's kind of like a weird way to say post, but maybe you don't have something to post about Centra, but maybe how would you use Centra? How do you think you could utilize an AI tool to help you in your business, because like it or not, AI is happening and it's here and it's a part of our daily life. And as people are frantically rushing to their keyboards to write a post, even if it's "I love Josh and Eric," I'm going to read off some of these comments here. Jada, old Army buddy of mine, good to see you here, Jada. She uses ChatGPT almost every day. Marketing strategies, breakdown frameworks from books, help draft emails and texts. If you're looking for a painting crew, y'all, Jada is an incredible entrepreneur and business owner, and she owns a painting company up in, I think it's in Marietta. It might be in Atlanta somewhere. Jada, correct me if I'm wrong, but please absolutely reach out to Jada if you have painting needs in the metropolitan Atlanta area. Adam, yes, that is Centra.ai. Breon Thomas, did you have your live event today? We're doing it right now, Breon. Glad you're here. Tiffany, my beautiful wife, love you, honey. She said, I've been using Centra in my business and it's been a game changer. It helps me build emails, research across the web, helps me think through strategy, and with the training prompts, highly recommend. All right. And Jada says they service the metro Atlanta area. All right. Keep those comments coming. We're going to move forward with the presentation and we will recapture some of these comments in just a little bit. But Josh, are you ready to go?
Look, absolutely. I'm ready to go. I want to talk about ChatGPT. And so ChatGPT is probably the most famous form of AI. And so I want to talk just a little bit about that. Eric, will you go to the next slide? You get to be my lovely assistant, Eric. So let's talk a little bit about why ChatGPT. It's important you understand this right here, because once you understand the power in this, you understand how to prompt it. Because today I'm going to share some basic prompts with you, and then we're going to go through and we're going to break down a deal that I have actually done so that you can see how that would work. So ChatGPT is an advanced language model. Now I'm going to cut the rest of this out, but explain why that matters. ChatGPT might not be the most powerful AI ever, but what ChatGPT is it is the best tool for the common man to interact with because it understands language. In fact, as I talk to ChatGPT, it is currently trying to forecast and predict what the next words out of my mind are, or my mouth is. I can talk to ChatGPT like a person. It's that simple. Talk to ChatGPT like a person. We're going to see why that matters. For example, for those of you that are out there, maybe you want to get healthier, go into ChatGPT and tell it, hi chat. By the way, I call mine chat. We have a relationship. That's so weird. I say, hey chat, I'm trying to lose some weight. I weigh this. This is what I am. Here's a picture of me. What do you suggest? And then ChatGPT will actually talk to you. The last thing I'll say, just to illustrate that it's a large language model, if you want to get better at your script, you go into the paid version of ChatGPT and you go, hi, I am Joshua Boyd. I am a real estate investor. I need to practice doing a cold call to a person that I pulled off of this website. They have a house that is valued at $200,000. They are going into foreclosure. I am trying to purchase this property at $100,000. I have looked up that they owe $50,000. ChatGPT, you are going to be the seller. I'm going to be the buyer. We're going to pretend that I have called you on the phone. Do not give in to me until I have reached a logical conclusion. But if I do convince you, tell me that I've convinced you. We will start when I say go. Go. And then you can literally, I use the actual app. So I talk to mine. I say, hello, chat. How are you doing today? And we have on a conversation. And that's how I actually practice a lot of my cold calling scripts. If you're a real estate agent, this works like a boss, but we won't go into that. So, but let's get right into the meat and potatoes of this. Today, I want to give you the prompts that I actually use when I am vetting some different deals. So I'm going to share screen. And let's get into ChatGPT prompts. Let's dig in. And also, if I don't know if you guys have access, I believe you do, but if not, later on at the end of this, let me know. I want to make sure everyone here today gets this actual Google Doc so that you can just copy and paste into your ChatGPT and do any of these. Here we go. So general deal analysis. Analyze this property as an investment. Include cash flow, ROI, and any potential risks. We'll go do some of these in a second, by the way. Look at this. What is the ARV of a property in blank? Use the comps to estimate. Oh, by the way, you don't have to tell it the comps. ChatGPT already knows the comps. It knows everything. Break down the cash on cash return for a property purchased at blank with, and then there's everything that you can put in. Again, you can copy and paste all this stuff. I'll skip down. Rental property analysis. I love this one. Estimate the monthly cash flow for a rental property purchased for blank with blank interest rate and operating cost. Again, you can copy and paste that right in. I use number 7 a lot because I'll usually make a purchase on something with private hard money. And then after that, I like to, if I'm going to hold it, which is always my ultimate goal, though sometimes I flip, but I want to hold everything if I can because I want to take over the world personally. I use a DSCR, a debt service coverage ratio. So I can go in and say, calculate the DSCR for a property generating, and then I enter in the monthly rent with a loan payment of, and I enter in the loan payment. It will give it to me. That right there, Keith will tell you, because oh my gosh, 15 e-score, that might have been the death of me. Had I used Chat GPT for that prompt right there, I would have learned something. That prompt right there, had I ran that on one of my recent deals, probably would have saved me about $8,000, but I didn't know it would do that at that time. So again, look at this one. Compare the profitability of a long-term rental strategy versus a midterm rental strategy and blank. If you're out there doing pad split, this is what I use. I actually determined this week that there is a city on the South Atlanta side down I-75, and I decided that I'm not going to purchase pad splits in there because I found a good deal. It looked like it would work. Everything says it would work, but the information that Chat GPT kind of gave back to me, I won't say what it is in case somebody else in here is planning on doing that there, but you ask me after and I'll tell you. Burr strategy. Again, I'm not going to read all these, but these are the ones that I do. Now, 9 is the one that I use the most. Analyze a Burr strategy for a property purchased at, and then you fill in the information. We're going to do some of that in just a second. It's going to show you. It will tell you everything. By the way, you don't have to explain to it what a Burr strategy is. It already knows. In fact, something cool, any book that you've ever wanted to read about real estate investing, but you're busy, ChatGPT's already read it. Go in and ask it about, hey, would you read Good to Great by Jim Collins? Awesome. Give me the highlights. Give me the outline. What are the most inspiring points? It will literally break down and tell you anything you want about any book that has ever been written in the history of mankind. It's uncanny. All right, I'm getting sidetracked. Let's go back to this. So let's see here. What are the risks and benefits of using the Burr method for a property in blank? I'd like to ask it that prompt because there are some markets where the interest rates are such that the Burr does not make sense. I can tell you one area that I've run that on and I get kind of iffy, like Griffin, Georgia. I love all you out there in Griffin. Griffin is great. Griffin is amazing, but it is hard to get the Burr right in Griffin, Georgia. It doesn't mean it can't be done. It just means it's harder. I have to look a little bit, look a little bit hard. Anyways, market specific prompts. What is the median ARV for properties in blank over the last 6 months? Now, I want to pause right here before I keep going. There's something, a very key important detail that I left off here. If you're using the free version of ChatGPT, which is great, I highly recommend you get started. If you've never used ChatGPT, use the free version for a while. But for real estate investing or being a real estate agent or whatever, remember that the free model is usually data. It's lagging data. It's about 2 years back. So be really, really careful because last time I used ChatGPT, the free version, it told me that the market was booming, baby. And it was in 2021, but we're in 2024. So just be really careful. I use the $20 a month paid version of ChatGPT, which I'm going to show you in just a second. And I think it's $20 well spent because the data, I mean, it can search everything and the data is really, really kind of up to par. I'm going to keep going, but that is a very important detail that when you ask data, the paid version is the version that you need to be on. Look at this. What are the best cash flowing neighborhoods in blank for single family rentals? That's right. ChatGPT can do all the researching for you. Save yourself some time. It already knows. It knows everything. Now, I'm going to skip because there's 29 prompts. And I could go off on this stuff for days. And I'm going to give all of you access to this. I'll post it so you can all have it. In fact, I see some of you right now just asking, give me 3 seconds, 3 seconds. Okay, don't literally count to 3. You can't see me do this right now, but I want you guys to have this thing so
So Josh,
incredibly bad.
I just checked it. It is slide 23
Yes.
of the Canva, and that email went out at 6:30. So if you are not seeing that email, comment your email address, and I will make sure that
Boom.
you get that email sent to you as soon as this presentation is over.
Love it. Can I show you how this would work, Eric, in action? Let's get right into it. I'm now going to walk us through an actual thing. Now I want to show you something else. You'll have access to this really quickly. I've broke down the prompts that I'm about to use here. And so I'm going to give you these prompts. These are the test prompts. These are the ones that I'm going to implement tonight to show you. And I went ahead and put them out because I know you guys might want to recreate this on your own. So just in case you do, or if you're following along at home, you'll be able to do that. So I purchased a property at 948 Welcome to Arnco Road way back when in the day. So some of this data will be lagging data. Keep that in mind because, again, this was a purchase a year and a half or so ago. And fun facts about this purchase. This was before I understood the power of using private money and a lot of other things. I bought it with a DSCR and some stuff different, but let's just use ChatGPT to kind of get us going. So I am now going to share my ChatGPT prompt with you. And so you should be able to see my chat GPT now. Now for fun, you can see, look, I talked to it at the top. It says, okay, I'm going to present this information tonight to our real estate group. I'm probably going to ask you some of the same questions again. Feel free to give me the same information again if it's appropriate. Notice that I just talked to Chat GPT like it's a person because Chat GPT is a large language model. In other words, if you don't know how to use it, you have no reason to not. Just ask it. It will tell you. So let's get in here. Let's pretend that I am trying to look for properties. I got on Zillow, which is what a lot of you do. I know I'm a real estate agent and I represent several investors in this group. Usually they have, because they're real estate investors and they're epic, they have found something somewhere and they've sent it to me. And but anyways, let's say we found this property on Zillow. So I'm going to come in and here's my prompt. Analyze this property as an investment. 948, welcome to Arnco Road, Newnan, Georgia, 30263. I want you to include cash flow, return on investment, and any potential risk. Let's see what it says. Boom. Here we go. Purchase price, renovation cost. By the way, its renovation cost are $20,000. I want to say I was at 23. It's uncanny how close that actually is to what it ended up costing. Rental income, DSCR loan term, whatever, assumed. Here it is. I'm going to stop. I'm just going to scroll down, but look at this. It has already come through, and it's already told me cash flow analysis. Look at that. Monthly mortgage payment. Now, some of you guys out there that are really smart, like I never asked him about math, but Richard, you strike me as very smart, very mathy. Are you smart? I bet. Well, that was the wrong question. Richard, you're brilliant, but you strike me as somebody that knows math, who probably actually understands all these formulas. Like, look at all that. That I don't understand it. I couldn't tell you, but there it is. For those of you that want to know the mathematical formula, now you can see it. I don't know. James, maybe you can understand the math. I'm not a math person. I don't know. But anyways, it's there. And I'm just going to keep scrolling through. But here's my greater point. If I was trying to see if this has the potential to be a good investment in one single prompt, ChatGPT just told me all about it. Look at this: risk analysis, mitigation strategies. I mean, it just told me all of that off one prompt. Now, let's say that I've decided, looking at that I'm thinking about doing a BRRRR strategy with it. So now I'm going to go further because I've discovered it. I ran it. I think it's possible. Now I'm going to ask ChatGPT, analyze a BRRRR strategy for the property, a property purchased at 152 with 20,000. By the way, I got those numbers from the post above, and a DSCR at 6.9%. 948, welcome to Arnco Road, Newnan, Georgia, 30263. I want you to include cash flow, return on investment, and any potential risk. Let's see what it says. Now, again, for those of you that can't math that, because Josh can't math that, I know the math. I can kind of do the math, but ChatGPT just did in seconds what would take me hours. And there it all is. So step one, refinancing the property. It is already walking me through the BRRRR strategy, the refinance. And before I've ever made a purchase or anything, I can kind of see, like, it's already estimated the monthly mortgage payment. Fun fact, that's pretty close. That's pretty close. It's actually a little bit more than what my mortgage payment ended up being. Here's my cash on cash return, all that kind of good stuff. Again, I'm just going to scroll on down because my purpose tonight is just to show you how you can use this. Look at this, potential risks. And here's the conclusion. And you get the idea. The DSCR of 1.22 ensures the loan meets for most lender requirements. For those of you that don't know, you need a DSCR ratio. If you can get it above 1.2, you're going to get approved anywhere. If you get it above a 1, you can get approved in most places with conditions. If you get a DSCR below point or below 1, danger, danger, Will Robinson. But as you can see, ChatGPT can tell you pretty close what that DSCR might be like before you ever purchase the property. Isn't that cool? Like, that's epic awesome. Let's keep going. So now let's say I've decided that I want to make an offer and I want to write a script to the seller to get this property under contract. So in other words, it's your first deal. You don't know what you're doing. You got to call them. You have no idea what to say. Maybe this was a for sale by owner. Dear Lord, help me. Oh my gosh. Well, here you go. You literally can read it. Hi, Eric. My name is Josh, and I'm very interested in your property given address. I reviewed it. Anyways, I'm going to stop there. But you can actually read through this, and it tells you how to present it. I'm not kidding you. Real estate agents, you should know that I've done this. I've done this to some of you on this call where I was on the opposite side of the table. I can master negotiate you because while I'm talking to you on the phone, I am chat GPTing on the other side of that computer to know every possible answer to every response that you may give me. And if I'm in a hard negotiation, I am feverishly typing to try to make sure that before you can get that question out of your mouth, ChatGPT has already given me the master negotiating strategy. I do not lose deals. Now, let's pretend that you have a real estate agent and you want to make an offer, and now you need to give them all the stuff that you need to make that offer, but you don't know what you should say in that email to your real estate agent. By the way, I have people that do me this way, and I just need you to know that I love it. I love it when someone's chat GPT because they're going to write me the clearest email. Here's what that email, it's going to write your real estate agent an email. Hi, I'd like to move forward with submitting an offer. Here's what I want in it. Look at that nice little bullet points. Please let me know if you have any blah, 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 blah. Maybe you've never bought a property before. You don't know anything about anything. You're not even sure what to put in the email. You don't have to know. Chat GPT just did it for me. So again, now I've gotten this property. I've sent it. I'm getting it under contract. But we just did our 7-day due diligence. Now, this is one of my favorite things. And we just got this inspection report back. Now, check this out. Let's see here. Let me get out of my documents. We're going to go into my downloads. Boom. Here is the inspection report. It was 45 pages. Now, I'm busy. I ain't got time to read all this stuff, though. Quite frankly, I always do. But I want to go fast. I want to get this stuff done. So watch this. I am going to ask ChatGPT, analyze the home inspection report, and give me a summary that includes major issues, a list of moderate concerns, a list of minor issues, recommendations for any additional inspections, potential negotiation points. Those of you out there trying to get deals and to find negotiating strategies, here you go. You're cold calling, whatever. The ChatGPT can do all of that stuff. Be concise, but be thorough and organize the response so it's easy to reference during negotiation. So I'm going to copy and paste this in there. Prepare to be amazed. This is my favorite thing. Look at this. Boom. It's already read that document. 45-page document. It just read all of it. I mean, it just bam, it just read it. Sorry, I got sidetracked. I saw some of you posting in the chat. When I'm in this chat GPT side, I can't see the chat. So Eric, feel free to answer anything over there and that I can't see. But anyways,
I'm trying to interact over here. Just so you know, Silken called us out. She said that we can't be so sure that they can't be so sure that you and I are not just chat GPT bots, and they just look like Eric and Josh.
That's it. It's possible. I mean, AI can do anything.
It's a good
AI is
thing I'm not
crazy.
glitching right now. It must be really good software.
So check this out. So here's the summary of the report. Now, I did discover ChatGPT at this particular property at about this point, and I kid you not, I used this and I turned it into a checklist and gave it to my GC, and this is what we fixed. And it's like uncanny good. It breaks it down into concerns, minor concerns. So if you're a new real estate investor and you're like, what is some of this maintenance? Because it's my first property. I don't have a lot of money. I needed to defer some cost until later. Chat GPT can kind of give you some recommendations for that. And then look at this. It gives me negotiating points with the seller. That's a good thing if you don't have an agent. Or quite frankly, even if you have an agent, especially if you have a rookie real estate agent, look, do their job for them. Send them that. Tell them what to do. I'm not saying you should have to do that. But hey, this is all about getting you the best deal. And if you're dealing with somebody that's never represented an investor, now you've got something that you can send them. Look at this, red flags. One of these red flags proved itself to be true. Electrical system may not meet modern standards. Yep, there was about $6,000 of cost that I didn't pay attention to that I wish I had, but it's fixed now. But anyways, so there you go. ChatGPT just broke all of that stuff down for me. Now I'm going to keep going. Now, we want to put those findings in priority order and suggest a local contractors. Let's pretend that you don't have a GC. Give preferences to companies or individuals that have 5-star reviews on Google. Give 3 repair persons for each finding and order them based on the Google reviews. Like, those of you out there that's like, I haven't started investing in real estate because I don't have a GC or I don't have this. Bam, we talked about this. I'm backing up what Eric was sharing with you at the beginning. Here it is. Issues, recommended contractors. Location, look at that, East Point, Georgia. That is not far from this particular property. Marietta's a little bit further away. Websites, phone numbers, Better Business Bureau, boom, groundworks. Electrical issues. I'm just scrolling through. Look at this one. Plugged in electrical right there. That's in Noonan, Georgia, right down the road from it. There's another one, Noonan, Georgia. Panda Electric, Noonan, Georgia. Plumbing, again, boom. It breaks it down with phone numbers, contact information, and sources. So now I have the folks that can help me get that off the ground. Now, let's keep going. I'm going to purchase the property with these known defects, and now I need to write an amendment to address the concerns. What do you suggest I include in this amendment? AKA, I'm coming out of due diligence, and I want the seller to pay for some of this repairs. How would I write that? Now, your real estate agent, if you're working with one, should do this for you. But again, maybe you're not working with an agent. That's okay. This is what you can do right here. By the way, if you're a real estate agent, I'm not saying it's right 95% of the time. So always check behind it and use your broker. But when you're trying to figure out how to write the amendment on the GAR forms that are legally binding in Georgia and write it correctly, ChatGPT gets it right most of the time. I always suggest you check, though. This is not official or legal advice. So boom. There it all is, like literally final steps. Crazy good. Let's keep going. Now, I'm going to write an email to my agent that instructs them exactly what to include in the amendment. That's the last one. I'm just going to show you. Again, I'm trying to do a good job here tonight of showing you what to do if you have an agent and what to do if you don't have an agent. But again, boom, ChatGPT can literally write the email. Let's keep going. I now have the property under contract. Write an email to my private money lender where I am requesting that they fund this project. Explain the value in the property, explain their risk, and make the request that they consider funding the property. I want to point something out here that's an integrity move, and I won't put anyone on the highlight, but I'd like to think that the people that are here present that have lended me money would say, yep, Josh does that. Put in there to explain their risk. I try to do a good job when I call someone that I'm asking them for money to be upfront about where their risk is. That doesn't mean that I don't advocate for why I think I can mitigate that risk, but do the right thing and always be above bar. That's something Eric says all the time, and I'm real big on. I'd like to think that's why people don't mind lending me money, because they know I will tell them the good, the bad, and the ugly up front. And also, if something does go south, I will literally eat beans and rice, but they're getting paid. I mean, anyways, so look at this. I hope this email, let's look at this property overview. By the way, for my private lenders out there, what I love about ChatGPT is it didn't just create this long email for you. It's really to the point. There's a small paragraph. It gives your private lender an overview. It says this fits into the BRRRR strategy. I plan to refinance. It tells them, it gives them their value proposition, and it gives them the numbers. Talks about market band, and then market demand, and then risk mitigation. Look at this, comprehensive. This basically says the things that you're going to do. And then it gets down to the funding request. For those of you that are out there, that what's holding you back from maybe approaching that private money lender for the first time because you never had the courage to do it, guess what? I just gave you $20 a month courage. There's your courage. Chat GPT can courage you. So have that courage and move forward. So again, I'm going to keep trucking. I know I'm talking fast. I'm just being respectful of the time. All right, let's pretend we got it. We did the work. But now I like to do this one. This is called the I'm a dummy card. In my case, I teach high school band, but I need to act like I know things. So I tell Chat GPT, the work has been completed. Now I need to inspect it. Would you create a checklist and talking points for me to walk through the property and inspect the work of my contractors? I might be stupid, but they don't have to know it. They don't have to know it, fam. They don't have to know. I'm throwing this out there for you. If my GC is on here, he's now probably laughing because he's first off, my GC, shout out to Don if he's out there watching. I have an incredible general contractor, and he is every bit the most important part of my business, and I don't know what I would do without him. But he would tell you, yeah, Josh doesn't know a lot. And then one day, suddenly he started learning where to come in. By the way, walk your property with your GC and let them teach you. They probably, if they're a good one, already know what you don't know. Keith also says this, and this is something that has stuck with me. Remember, somebody's training somebody. You're either training your GC or your GC is training you. And I tell you that as somebody, I've discovered that I'm getting trained and I have to do some training. I'm throw that out there for another day. But yeah. All right. So back to Chat GPT. So look at that. It can create a checklist that you can walk through and look at that talking points. Did the grading adjustments and gutter installation eliminate the risk of the water intrusion? Look, that is shorthand for, did that solve the problem of the water? But you get to sound so smart. Okay. I'm going to keep going. Some days, Eric, I'm jealous that I don't have like your skill, because Eric actually knows all these things and I'd have to Chat GPT it, but
oh, I went through Lakaya U. So if you're
Lakaya U.
Yeah, if you're familiar with that, very strategic university, that's where I was.
There you go. I have decided that I want to hold this property as a rental. I'm now searching for a DSCR loan that works. At what term should I be searching for that will give me good cash flow and appreciation? Look at this. It tells me what the interest rates I need to be searching for because it already knows what's going to make this property cash flow because I've already told it all. It already tells me LTV, long-term, short-term. I'm going to get on through it. But if you're looking for a loan, and by the way, it gets down here to the math. Don't ask me to math that, but I just know Chat GPT already knows it. And then here we go. I use this both as an agent and I use this when I'm negotiating my own deals. Key questions to ask the lenders. I want to give you a fun fact. If you're trying to get the right loan and you use Chat GPT, ask all 8 of these questions, even if you don't think that you know, because 9 times out of 10, Chat GPT is smarter than you and it knows that you're going to need to know it later. So just go ahead and ask it and then just write down the stuff. But I literally copy and paste these into the questions for my lender. Brandon Respress, who is a great lender. He's closed 2 or 3 of my deals out there. I don't know if he's in on this call, but now he's probably chuckling because he sees the 8 questions that I have copied and pasted to him. Sorry, Brandon, I'm not that smart. It was totally Chat GPT. Look at this. 2 great programs. So there's Nexa Mortgage. I'm using that one because Brandon Respress is a member of our group and he's from Nexa. And then Kind Lending because I've got Michael Frazier, who we've used on some stuff too. He's with Success Lending or Kind Lending, and they're both amazing. Sometimes one is going to have a good DSCR and sometimes the other one does. But I need today, I got to figure this out. What do I do, Chat GPT? I don't know. Well, look at this. Give me the pros and the cons. So I'm just going to skip on through, but it'll give you all the pros and the cons of Nexa and all the pros of Kind Lending. Now I'm just going to go through that. You can do it on your own. I can tell you as a customer of both, they're both amazing products. And there is loans are like tools. Sometimes you need a hammer and sometimes you need a screwdriver. So don't always assume that one is better than the other. Just make sure you got the right tool for the right job. Look at this, fam. I'm almost to the end and then I'll back off a little bit. So let's just finish this out. Based on what you know about my purchase price and renovation costs, analyze this property now on the basis of cash flow. If I have a 30-year fixed DSCR mortgage with an 8.1% effective interest rate and with a tenant that pays $16.25 a month in rent. By the way, if this seems so long-winded, I want to point out that I have fully analyzed a property with you here, talking it out, and I've done it in about 20 minutes. That's the power of ChatGPT. And again, it'll give you the formula and all the other stuff. We'll just scoot down to get to the bottom when it gives us the final number. But it is crazy how much it can do. Look at that. It quantified the beginning. Now it's quantifying the DSCR. I wish I could do math this fast. It's giving my cash on cash return. If you're following along, maybe you're using your own deal to kind of check this out. But again, you can sort of get down to the end. Here is the summary and the analysis. It says it's a moderate cash on cash. Would you like, I'm not going to go any further. Look at this last question. Would you like help identifying potential ways to improve cash flow, or run alternate financing scenarios? I want to show you so bad, but I'm going over, so I'm not. I probably should put yes there. But look at this. ChatGPT, because of regular language, it figured out what I was trying to do, and it's now trying to help me prompt it. Again, if you've never used ChatGPT for whatever reason, look at what it is. It knows I need to prompt it better, and it's telling me to prompt it better and then telling me what to say. That blows my mind. Look, now I'm going to market this rental. I got to put it on Zillow, and I'm not very smart, so I'm going to create a Zillow listing for this rental. Charming 3-bedroom unit. It is move-in ready. Welcome to this beautifully, okay, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but you get the idea. I mean, dude, this place is only 896 square feet, but it makes it seem like the greatest thing in the entire world. But fun fact, there's no lies in this listing. It is exactly what it is. Now, I've got another GPT where I've even trained it for what it knows that I do rents and everything else. And I'll give it this last prompt. I could keep going with this for days, but look at this. I need to screen potential candidates. Would you create a script for my screening calls? Now, my scripts are usually call Richard Cotter or talk to him at the deal maker meeting, because that dude is the master of vetting people. He and Silken are like on this stuff. And I usually would just say, hey, what are you doing to vet them? Because even as Pad Split, the dude's like vetting everything, and it's like epic awesome. But in case you don't have one of those in your life and you need to know, ChatGPT will tell you. And so boom, there it is. It's, look at this. I mean, you don't know what to do, it will do all of it. Now, I've got to stop there because I could keep going on this stuff for days. I would highly encourage you to go check out that presentation and ask me. And my big takeaway tonight, because there are things that I do for real estate investing and twist on that I do as a real estate agent, but it really doesn't matter. Wherever you're at in the process, I believe that ChatGPT is my virtual assistant. I can do almost everything that I would pay someone else to do now. Instead of paying someone by the hour, I pay $20 a month, and ChatGPT can literally vet everything. And I've only scratched the surface. I've just analyzed one unique deal. But Eric, I just want to point out that from top to bottom of that property, which by the way, really does get me $16.25 a month. That's accurate. That really is accurate. How much it cost me. Everything in that scenario that ChatGPT just gave me was accurate without knowing anything, because that was my very first deal. It cash flows. Last year, its cash flow each month after expenses and vacancy and CapEx was $350 a month. And I knew nothing, just ChatGPT.
Dude, I got to give you some rock music on Powerful, how amazing that was. So, yeah, I'll be... Okay, I'm done.
I know I talk fast, by the way. Sorry to go so quickly. I just wanted to get it all out there because it can do so much.
Oh, absolutely. It's amazing the power of these AI tools. And there are some folks having some issues with clicking the links on the Canva. So when I opened it up on the view, sometimes you have to like wave your little wand around and get the right place to click it. And then also on the next one, you got to get the right place to click it there. But before we drive on, I do want to point out some amazing comments that were made throughout this, other than Silken's incredible statement that we could be ChatGPT. And that is Cole Payton. He is an incredible coach out there at CrossFit Higher Ground out in East Newnan. So I want to give Cole a shout out here. Appreciate all you do to create a safe place that is faith focused for people to get healthy, and for some of those, get swole. Thank you for being here, Cole. And then also, Susan has asked and requested, said, can you share your GC contract info? Is that something you're comfortable sharing? Now, not everyone shares their contracts, and I understand that and get that. But Josh, what do you say?
Let me check with my GC first. We have some things in ours to show you how much I believe that are pretty unique. For example, we're working on something now where, because he's done all this stuff for me, and this is just a side note. When you find somebody that's good and does right by you, make it right by them. And so I have told him that if he ever brought me a deal and it was a good deal, we would go in 50-50. And so our contracts are not always one contract. We do contracts by property, because we've got one we're looking at right now in another county that if we get that deal, it's going to be a 50-50 deal, because number one, he brought me the contract. And number two, I value the hard work that he does so much. Somebody brings me $100,000 deal, then I'm going to give up more than I probably have to make it right by them. I think that falls in that deal maker creed, by the way. And because I treat my GC good, a lot of the subs prioritize our work because we do right by them.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. And sometimes GCs and subs are, some of them fly by the night. Some of them don't stay too long. Some of them like to get their little 50% down and run. So be careful when vetting your contractors out there. If you ever have questions about, is this normal practice? Use your network to help understand what is expected commonly in that certain trade. And like Josh was saying earlier, we are your network. You can go into Dealmaker Atlanta Facebook group and post those questions and get the responses you're looking for. But I will say this, don't be an energy vampire in the group, in person or online. Don't come in with all the questions and not offer something in return. Everyone has something to offer. Everyone does. You have value, you have importance, and you have something to add. So don't be an energy vampire. Instead, add value in any way you can. Another comment here by Keith Gettinger. He's mentioning about David Tilney. He's an incredible teacher, that how we learned how to become landlords as well. He said, give Tilney the credit for the quote, one of the best mentors he's had. His course on property management has saved him thousands of dollars, thousands of headaches, and 1,000 hours of time. And I could not put that or highlight that anymore. Learning how to be a great landlord and learning how to manage people will save you thousands of dollars and headaches and hours of time. All right. Miriam has made a comment. She doesn't put any labor payment up front. She will buy materials, though, to get them started. I think that is very wise. And what I like to do is I like to provide the materials, yes, and I like to give them weekly benchmarks of, hey, by Friday, I need these things done. If you reach these items by the end of the week, you get this amount in your check. And here's how much each item is worth. So if you only get 2 of those items met, you only get this much. If you get all 3, this is how much. Here's next week's work as well, but I'm not showing you that because I want you to take your time and do a great job on this week's work. So that has been good for me. So James says he has a great roofer, can share, but he's looking for a floor guy. Post that in our Dealmaker Facebook page, or if anyone on here wants to reply to James Geyer comment here, he's looking for a floor guy. And Miriam took Tilney's course too. It is great stuff. The first day, I think 2 days is learning how to be a great landlord. And the last day is the bonus, which is invaluable. And that is how to become a master leaser. And that is being a professional tenant that sublets to the end user. It's a great way to be a real estate investor, start getting cash flow without having to own the property. So that is a great thing. So, yeah, let's keep going on this presentation. Like I said, you might have to hover around just a little bit on some of these links to get them to click. But what I will do after this, probably sometime tomorrow, I will send another email just to follow up, thanking everybody for being on the call today. I'll post a link to the recording of this call, and then I'll post individual links for all of the tools that Josh has so kindly provided us. And Josh, this page, is this more links here?
Yeah, it's just overall just things on there, and to let anyone know that feel free to reach out if you see something tonight that you want some help with, or you're not sure how to Q chat GPT, shoot myself an email at any time. And also, if anyone's out there that's an agent, Leo, similar to chat GPT, we use it a lot, and I'd love to walk folks through it. Hey, Eric, we were talking just a second ago. My mind was thinking about this, but can you talk to us a little bit about the elite deal maker that's coming up? And just because we're sitting here talking about Dave Tilney's course, which is awesome. I think we're all of us believe. Can we just say, by the way, if it's your first meeting here, when you notice that all of us say the same thing, write that down. I remember Danny used to say that when I attended his meetings, and I did. And I wrote down David Tilney landlord course, life-changing, and so many others. But will you talk to us a little bit about the elite deal maker that's coming up in Virginia?
Yeah, so March 26th through March 28th, Richmond, Virginia,
Oh,
at the
dude, you already had a
Hilton.
slide for that. Look at that.
I
I
did.
swear I did not know.
This is at the Hilton Short Pump Hotel in Richmond, Virginia. I have been to Elite Dealmaker, and is how I've met Jim Ingersoll, who is I'd say the godfather of dealmakers around the country. We have almost, we're getting close to 20 local dealmakers to help spread the great word about Dealmaker. And I will say, when I went last March, I did not go to it looking to necessarily grow. I did not go with an intention to necessarily catapult or quantum leap. But let me tell you, it happened. Just being in that room and around those people, around the biggest leaders in being ethical and moral and how they run their business, just being around them for 3 or 4 days at the Dealmaker conference is life changing. And so, if you're interested in joining us, I'll be up there with Tiffany, and we're going to take a short vacation to Washington, D.C. after. But we're going to be up there the whole time, and would love to spend some time with you, and for you to meet Jim Ingersoll and so many other of the incredible speakers that'll be there, and just the incredible people. There's just incredible people in the room that add value, and that's what this is all about. It's all about lending a hand. It's all about sharing expertise. It's the world's not great if just one person wins. It's great if we all win, and there's enough out there. You gotta, if you think there's not enough out there for everybody to win, I challenge you to really work on a little bit of your law of, what am I looking for? What's the word?
Abundance.
Abundance. Yeah, you need to work on the law of abundance and know that there is more out there. You might have a very, what's the opposite of abundance? I'm looking for that word now too.
Scarcity.
Scarcity. You're the man. Yeah. Make sure that you're not approaching things from a sense of scarcity, that if I give this value, they're going to do something with it to hurt me. No, think abundantly. Think abundantly about everything you do, and you will absolutely find yourself catapulting and quantum leaping into the next version of yourself. So if you're interested in joining us in Richmond, Virginia at the Elite Dealmaker Conference, I think there's going to be 300 to 400 people in the room learning and growing together up there. Also want to say, if you want to hop on this StreamYard with us and join us for some conversation, because we are right at the end of our presentation, I'd love for you to come click the link that I put up here in the comments about how to join us on StreamYard, and come in and ask some questions, or you can just share what AI tools you are using and how it's helping your business. And then also, if you did not get any emails about this presentation and you just happen to see it on the Facebook page, please use the link in there, onpurposeinvestor.com/dealmaker sign up, and go join the email list, so that you don't miss a single bit of communication about presentations or meetings in person or special deals and discounts and stuff like that. A few other things to share here. Jada says, if you click on the number 2 in the presentation, it will work. So thank you, Jada, for that. Cole shared, You know, a rising tide lifts all ships. That is an absolute great example of the law of abundance. Just because somebody's boat is joining, so long as you're on that same ocean with them, you will rise too. Absolutely. Thank you so much. And Christy, absolutely here. Abundance is my reality on my vision board. That is incredible. Abundance is something we should all practice daily, whether it's giving to a church or a philanthropic endeavor, or just giving to those in your family. If you know anybody that's got a newborn at home, I promise if you just showed up one day and washed the dishes and did the laundry once a month, that would add so much value to them. It may not seem like it, but it would. I know this because we have two young children and one on the way in June, and our sink stays full. So any takers, we'll take some help at the house here.
Can I tell you my quote, Eric, that's on my vision board? And I may have
Oh
said it
yes,
before. It's
please.
been up there like 60 days, but I read it every day. And it says that today I will make my dreams bigger than my fears.
Mm,
And that's something that I think about when I get scared, when I feel like I can't, when something doesn't go my way, when the numbers don't work right. I had a property this past year that for 6 months I'm just trying to figure it out. But I kept looking at my dreams have to be bigger than my fears. My dreams have to be bigger than my fears. And you know what happened is we figured it out, because something that Dealmaker Atlanta will teach you is that for every problem that you have, there is a solution. And one of my things that I'm most excited about connecting people nationally with Dealmaker Elite is that I'm going to learn more solutions, because right now I'm learning about all the solutions from our wonderful community. But I wonder what other solutions that solve these problems I don't know yet, because I've never met the people in Virginia and Florida and Texas. And that's the next stage of my investing career this year, Eric, is I've kind of
yeah,
built this network here with you guys and all these people here that have made me a better person. In 2025, it's like, okay, it's time for me to branch out and go find some more like-minded people so that I can just learn and hopefully offer them something in return too. I don't know what it'll be, but I want to offer them whatever I've got too, because man,
yep.
we're all stronger when we work together.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. There's so many ways you can continue to beat a dead horse, but I think the horse needs to be beat sometimes for people to absorb it. About just thinking abundantly and adding value to others. Susan, so glad you are here with us on StreamYard. I'm going to bring you in here. Thanks for joining us
Susan.
in here. If you have anything to add or you want to ask some questions, you're the only visitor to the StreamYard, and we love to have you here. Hi. All right. Well, thank you so much. Did you have anything you wanted to add, Susan? All right. Well, y'all, I can't thank you enough for being here today and spending some time with us to learn about AI and how to use it in your business. Our next meeting, if you head over to dealmakeratlanta.com and go down and look at the calendar, we have our next meetup February the 13th. Did I say February weird? Is it February? February? Yeah, February 13th. You know, pending we don't have any snow, ice, or detrimental road hazards, we will be meeting in person at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, Atlanta Airport West. It's off of Camp Creek. We'd love to have you join us there. And just know if you come and it is your first time at an in-person meetup, go to Eventbrite. The new link for the next meetup will be posted in the Facebook group and will be sent in an email to sign up for that one. And also, if you are interested in joining the VIP, you get a really cool swag hat. You get a lot of other cool and just valuable assets for you to use. Josh and I have set up a VIP page where you can go back and watch every single meeting we've ever done. And you can get all of the information from those meetings and stuff like that.
Hey, Eric, next meeting is still SDIRA, correct?
It is SDIRA. It
Can
is
I tell you why every
Inspira.
person here should be at that meeting? Eric, what if
I'm really
I am wanting to borrow money from you and I get to have a say so, or at least share or come up possibly with what that interest rate is? What if I could come to you and create a deal in which I might even determine the interest rate? Would that be interesting to you if you were trying to buy a property and you get to determine your interest rate?
Oh, it's incredible. And that
Hmm.
is so great for the opportunity to control your retirement investments. And there are a lot of rules around it. And the gentleman coming from Inspira is going to share all of those things. You can buy any type of investment asset in your SD. Self-directed is what SD is, self-directed IRA. You can also set up a solo 401k and determine where you're investing your cash. But there are a lot of rules around it. There are some limitations on what you can invest in. There are some limitations on how you handle that investment, like who you can work with and where you store certain aspects of that investment. So just know that there are rules around it, but it is such a great tool because let's say I have a $20,000 self-directed IRA. Well, that's not quite enough to go do a deal. But what if I had a financial friend that does have $100,000? Maybe it's Betty Sue that sits in the pew at church, and after talking with her for several Sundays, I know that she's got $100,000 that she inherited in some way. She doesn't know what to do with it. But I just had a deal come across that's a $120,000 funding opportunity. Well, her 100 and my 20, I can perform a wrap on that money and create an incredible return on my investment using it that way. Now, it is a lot more complex than how I just mentioned it, but those are the opportunities you can do when you are directing your investments. And James has joined us on stage. Welcome, James. How you doing, sir?
Good, man. How you doing?
Doing well. Did you have anything to add with us tonight?
No, I was listening to your self-directed 401k or your IRA setup that you talk about doing. Is it just a dealer IRA? I mean, dealer IRA. Is it just your own IRA you're talking about setting up through your business for tax purposes?
So it can be personal, and it can be business related. But if you have a traditional IRA and you want to pull it out of where it is, you don't want to invest in the stock market and mutual funds and index funds anymore. You want to control where it goes. That's when you convert it. It's a rollover. Yep. Gotcha. It is a rollover into a self-directed account to where you get, in some cases, checkbook control on how you disperse it. Yeah.
Who else on it? Is it just the three of us? It's the only pictures I see.
Yeah, so we're in a program called StreamYard. You're in the studio with us, but it's being streamed out to YouTube and Facebook. So there are several viewers watching with us right now, but you're just in the studio with us.
I got you. Not quite like Zoom, but similar. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else you had, Mr. James?
I could talk to you guys all day, but congratulations on the new baby.
Well, thank you so much. Yep. Mr. Callahan Brooks will be joining us in late June. So
we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I'm curious how you guys are transitioning. Like, are you looking at right now? It sounds like everyone's in the growth phase. Mm-hmm. I recently, a couple of years ago, we sold a property to pay off other properties to increase our cash flow. Mm-hmm. And that really helped. There was the tax hits and stuff we had to do. That's before I knew about 1031s, et cetera. So that was kind of a pain. I don't know if you can do a 1031 from your own property to your own property. You can?
Say that one more time.
Can I do a 1031 exchange from one rental property to pay off another rental property that I already own?
That depends. I do have a person that I can connect you with that knows that. Usually if it's probably a no, depending on how it's structured.
I got no sitting here, so I can't be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
If another entity owns it completely, and let's say you're not the primary holder of that business, let's say you're a 25% owner or less than 50, there could be gray area for that. I would say don't do that, and instead find a financial friend that you can 1031 into one of their properties and they 1031 into your property, and you make like a triangle of trades. That's where it's good to have financial friends that own houses like this.
Yeah, I was wondering if you had it in a trust name and did it that way, if it'd be the same thing. But
at the end of the day, if you do sell it like that, they're going to request who your beneficiaries are. They're going to request a lot of information that will ultimately show that you are still the owner.
Still the owner. Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great to talk to you.
Yeah, it's good to see you, and hope to see you in just a few weeks at the the Holiday Inn in Atlanta.
Holiday Inn in Atlanta, near the airport.
That's it.
All right. Take care.
See you now. All right, Josh, is there anything you want to add before we close the meeting out?
Nope, that's it, man. It was great to talk to everybody. And if you need anything, just post in the Facebook forum or in the Facebook group, and you can find me there. We'll reply to you as fast as we can. Love you guys, and just thanks for the opportunity. We're all stronger when we work together, man.
That's it. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great night.